Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the team call. It is Wednesday, May 16th. Tonight, we're going to be going through a power hour, so we're going to be going through step-by-step exactly. Jessica is going to be leading us in exactly what we do every day as our vital behaviors to help grow our business. Before we want to jump into that, we do want to just talk very quickly about a couple announcements so we don't forget them or miss them. So we've got some incentives for this month. So tell me the incentives. Tell me all of them.
All right. So,
oh, she's in there. Okay, cool.
Can you mute me? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, first up is for everybody that hits Success Club 5 in this month will receive that Joel Freeman bobblehead doll. And who doesn't want a Joel Freeman bobblehead doll? I love my bobbleheads. They're amazing. So they're like precious to me. They're never out of the box. So be sure to, have that be a goal. I posted in our team page today a little video that Joel did for some of us to share all the excitement of the bobblehead. For those of you who achieve Success Club 10 in May, I was like, what month is it? We'll receive a really cute hoodie. And for the guys on the team, if you win it, we'll make sure it says like boy boss, not girl boss, and it might be in blue, not pink. I don't know. We'll make something special for you guys. So that unless you guys want a pink one, which I'm not here to judge, that's cool. You go. Anyways, so another thing for those of you who are new coaches, whomever achieves Emerald in May will receive the book. What's it called? Girl Wash Your Face. So everybody that is coach going to Emerald, and for all of those of you who are either a new coach, whomever, or Emerald, whoever achieves Diamond in May will also receive either a $50 Lululemon gift card or a $50 Nike gift card.
And guys, hold on one second. Okay. And whatever you do, do not miss this. 7 p.m. when we get off this call tonight, we're going to be going live in the team page, and we're going to be sharing something that is extremely exciting. So you are not going to want to miss that live broadcast, so you can learn what's in store for this team and all the good fun stuff that we've got planned for you guys. For anybody anybody that hears it. I want to say it and I can't, and it's killing me, so I'm just going to shut up. Jessica, please take this away so I don't tell anymore.
I was wondering when the announcement was going to be. I thought we were going to get that now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Focus. All right. So tonight I am going to do my version of the Instagram Power Hour. Alicia has an awesome one that I am going to re-listen to and absorb because one of the things that I don't do super quickly is a lot of follows. My follows are, they take a little bit more time for me because I'm super intentional about it. I make sure I am like commenting on a few of their posts and liking it and really making sure it's somebody that I'm going to connect with. But what I can say about that is my follow back rate is pretty good. Because they go to my page and they're like, oh yeah, well, we should be best friends. So, let's hope that that's working. So the things that I don't do in my power hour are my messages back, all of the other little things that we do, responding to our challenge groups. That's all separate from this hour. And actually, in all reality, the numbers that I try to accomplish always take me more than an hour. And I don't know if you guys listened to the wake up call this week, but one of the things she mentioned was that, if you want the bigger goals, you have to do bigger work. And she talked about that again this week. So, ideally, especially when you're a new coach, you should be able to get most of your work done in an hour. You're not checking on a team. There's a lot of things you're not doing, which is great because I know people like Justice who are, typically juggling 2 jobs and school. It's more likely pockets of time, and an hour is pretty doable for that. So for this power hour, I'm going to focus on the 3 things I think. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Would you be willing or able to, as you go through and do Instagram, could you also give kind of the Facebook equivalent of that? Because I know most of it correlates, so the people that are only on Facebook have an insight as well.
Honestly, true. It's very similar. The things you're doing are very similar, at least for me. The only thing that is different is you can follow a lot more people on Instagram than in a day than you can friend on Facebook. So basically, that's the only thing that will take you less time on Facebook, unless you're really slowly pouring through everybody's pages on Facebook, which I don't necessarily recommend. But otherwise, you're doing the same thing. You're interacting, and you are inviting. I mean, those are the two biggest things. One of the models that I've been following since last year, we started talking about doubling the amount of conversations you're having to the amount of invites you're doing. That way, you're getting lots of people that you're interacting with. And another thing about that is a lot of times what I'm doing with interactions, I'm not necessarily always messaging them privately. On Instagram or on Facebook now, you can comment on people's stories. You end up in their message box, but in a really super like uncreep way, which I really, really, really dig. If I can ask a question that makes sense, I always do, because I want them to message me back more than like the heart back or whatever, you get. But regardless, my reach outs, my conversations, a lot of times right now are just interactions. They are me liking and commenting, always commenting on their posts. Likes are really great, but if you comment, people are going to see that. That means something to them, just like our challenge groups. So that's basically what I'm going to go through today, what we're going to do in the next 45 minutes or so. We are going to spend some time following or friending. We're going to spend time interacting, and we're going to spend time inviting. You can start with whatever you want when you're doing your own power hour. A lot of people suggest starting with the thing you like the least. And I think it's a really good way to do it if you know consistently that you're going to skimp out on that last thing that you really don't want to do. What is that? Inviting, duh. So I'm not going to do that tonight because for me personally, I don't have a fear of inviting necessarily anymore. And I want you guys to shake that off. We're not asking them to do anything. We're just, inviting them to something awesome. If they don't want it, great. If they do, awesome, whatever. What I like to do when I'm doing mine is I go through and follow people first because it takes me the longest amount of time. Or friend, which is actually the shorter amount of time. So it's going to be a little wonky, but, and then we're going to do interactions, and then we're going to invite. Because for me personally, when I'm like warmed up off of loving everybody for the last 40 minutes, it's really easy for me to spend that rest of that time messaging the people I've been doing that with for the last week or whatever to say, you have to check this stuff out I'm doing. I love you. I want you in my group. So, or however you want to say it. So let's start with friending or following. On Facebook, typically, if I'm going to friend 5 to 10 people, which you do not want to do more than 10 people, is that still the truth on Facebook? Not more than 10? I mean, it's okay. The Facebook used to put us in Facebook jail if we friended too many people because they're like, you're not using this correctly. So I think that is it still the same?
Yeah, it's still the same. Like five people roughly.
So if you are if you're working on Facebook, I want you to go to either your suggested friends or somebody in your Facebook friends list that you really like, and I want you to look for people that you have at least 2 people in common with that look like people you'd be friends with. Don't just friend everybody. I did that in the beginning. It's a mistake. I still need to go through and unfriend some people because you really want to connect with them. So go through, look for people that look like people you'd be friends with, maybe people you already know on Facebook. That's always really good. High school, whatever you need to do 5 to 10 of those. if you're going to be focusing on Instagram tonight, I think for us to fit this into the hour, I think following 10 people is pretty, reasonable if you're doing it the way that I'm doing it, which is I typically will search a hashtag that relates to me. Like right now I'm really I've been really hunting down, it's a real niche thing. It's going to sound ridiculous, but I'm obsessed with The Dark Tower, this Stephen King series. And I go to the Dark Tower hashtag and I search for the girls, which is like a quarter of the people. And then they're all dudes. And then I also have to eliminate if they're in the countries we work in, which is another quarter. And I hone in on the 8 of those people that are my people. And we immediately connect, which is so great because they're all obsessed just like me. So take something and hashtag, don't you use the Dark Tower, but take whatever hashtag works with you, try to narrow it down. Don't just put mom life or something bonkers. You're going to search through 10,000 coaches first. Look for the non-coach people that are like you. Comment on a couple of their things and, follow them and leave it at that. Let's try to set it for like 15 minutes. It might not be long enough, the following thing. I don't know. But we're just going to play around with it tonight so we can get them all in, okay? So 15 minutes. I'm going to mute myself so you don't have to hear me like my kids. And let's check back in there. Try to follow 10 people. If you have any questions, just raise your hand or whatever, and or unmute yourself, and I'm happy to give you my take. Okay? Sound good? All right, let's rock.
How are we doing on time, Jess?
I was just thinking that, 43 seconds. All right, so we can call that. I got to 9. That was pretty good for me. You guys, I'm super slow. And I know it's probably like maybe I have like, squirrel or ADD, you know what I mean? Like, so it's best that I do my work first thing in the morning. I get up at 4 now. I did not do that when I first started coaching. But I was telling Justice this morning that, I've got a 3 and a 5-year-old. I do hair in multiple places, multiple days a week. And for me, the lighter the day goes, the worse I am with like all of this stuff. So first thing in the morning, I do as much as I can. But yeah, so there we go. Did anybody have any timer? Anybody have any like questions or anything to say about that? Or should we move on? All right. So the next thing I do are interactions. Like I said, quick way to get into inboxes, watch your stories and comment on those. I love that because that means that people are already using stories too, which is another thing I don't have to try to teach them how to do later, which is amazing. So I try to, like I said, double whatever I'm going to do for invites. Earlier, my goal was to do 40, and I did it in like 35 minutes. So I thought for today, let's do like 20. You guys down for that? Like a speed interaction, 20 minutes. Excuse me, 15 minutes, 20 interactions. See if we can do it. Sound good?
Real quick. So if you're on Facebook, how would you recommend people create that on Facebook?
I would do now, like we used to be like, don't scroll. But now I'm like, either go to your friends list and purposely click on that person's page and comment on their post. Or if they're using stories for Facebook, which is a lot less likely. I mean, you can try that. Or go and scroll a little bit. Now, if you're seeing the same people in your Facebook feed all the time, you've got to go back to your friends list and look for people you haven't talked to in a while and do that. It's going to take a few more seconds, so you might not get quite as many done in 15 minutes. But if you are just going to posts and commenting, questioning, things like that, you're going to blow through them a lot faster. You can also go to your messages and go back, to some way old, long forgotten conversations and look at those and then comment. If you're using your computer, easy. Have 2 Facebook windows up, have 1 in your messages and 1 in your friends list so that you can look at one, go over to the next, type it in, search, like you can make it kind of fast if you want to look for their posts first. I sometimes recommend doing that, looking for their posts before you message and be like, hey, how's it going? Because if they just posted that somebody has died, you might feel like a real jerk for like, just messaging that morning and being like, oh shit, you had a baby this morning. I should have known that if we're friends, whatever. So it takes a little bit more time, but I'm telling you, this is where I feel like is one of my strengths. Interacting with people and making them feel important or thought about. And if you can do that for somebody, their trust in you and their gratefulness for you stopping to think about them is like at this level. So when they need to work out or eat right, which everybody does, they're gonna be like, who just messaged me about out of the blue about that thing was, Jessica. She's awesome. So I say that's how I would do it with Facebook. That's how I do it with Facebook. I still work Facebook. I'm just less focused on it right now. But if you are on Facebook only, then go into your Facebook friends list. Go into your messages, wherever you need to find them. Just don't message the same people all the time. Like that won't work. Same thing on Instagram. You got to make sure that people are shuffling through. But that's what tracking's for. You guys are all writing stuff down, right? Or like tracking it on a tracker somewhere. I don't know some of you. So you guys might all be like, 5-star diamonds and be like, why is this girl talking to me about this? Like, of course I'm tracking. Okay. So if you're not tracking, track. I've done a lot of different versions. I've used TeamZ. It's great if you are, computer logger. I do this, you know, pen and paper. It's easiest for me. There's like a connection to it then. And I just keep it really simple. But if you're tracking, then you can go back and say, okay, you know, so-and-so's appeared on my conversations for the last 10 days in a row. If you haven't invited that person, that's a person you need to invite. But, you know, move on to somebody you haven't talked to in a while. And like I said, for Instagram, you can do the same thing. Scroll, look at your followers list, and interact with those people, and or story. Okay? Sound good? 15 minutes of interactions. Let's race and see who can get the most.
Does everybody that's on Instagram know how to find stories? Everybody raise your hand if you're on Instagram. And you get and keep it up. Like you guys all know how to find stories and how to comment on them and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. It's like the easiest thing in the world. They've dumbed it down so much.
It's epic.
That, like, it's perfect for me, is what I'm trying to say. All right. All right, let's do it. 15 minutes. Or you know what? If you want to do less than that, since we only have 20 minutes to get to inviting, that's fine too. You guys want to do 10 minutes of interactions? Let's do that. Okay, so that was 10 minutes. I think I actually had to run and take burning zucchini chips out of the oven. Fail. See what I mean about my attention span? Okay, so I think I got about 14. I don't know. Not too bad. Not too great. All right, so now you guys know last but not least, and we only have about 10 minutes left, but you guys know what to do. If you don't, inviting is basically, I saw Deanna I think she had said it in one of the training threads, but was don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to make it a big deal. In the beginning, I sent really long messages describing every aspect of every 21 Day Fix item, and nobody wants to read that. What they want to see is that you are excited about something and you want to do that with them. So if you're brand new to this is the perfect time for you to invite people, because you're legitimately asking them to do something new with you together. You guys are going to learn it together. It's great. You just message somebody and you say, girl, I just got myself into this workout thing or nutrition thing, and I think it's going to be awesome, but I know I would do better if I had you doing it with me. What are you doing right now with your workouts? Boom. Super easy. If you've invited people before and you need to invite them again, I put it out there up front if I feel like I'm annoying about it. Like, you're probably so sick of me wanting you to be in this workout group with me, but I'm never going to quit till you block me. Whatever. I mean, however you talk. I talk like a child. So that's the kind of stuff I say. And, I usually will get a message back when I don't make it sound like a copy and paste. If you have a really great invite that's working, feel free to copy and paste it, and if anybody has an awesome invite that's working for them right now, post it in the chat, and then we can read them at the end so that other people can know what we were talking about for the recording. But just make it easy. Do as many as you can. Go back from the conversations you've been having throughout the week. If you're new, just go to your friends list and start inviting everybody. Don't decide whether they're going to do it or not until you ask them, because you just never know. Just set up the most unlikely person as an emerald this week. And I honestly would never have believed they would have wanted to do that. So you really just have to give everybody the opportunity. Don't let it be trapped in your mouth. If you are wanting to invite people to the Coach Open House, be inviting to that right now and make that super simple. Girl, I want you, not I want you, whatever. Have you ever been curious about what I'm doing online? Boom. So easy. Say hello first probably. But you just want to make it easy. Get them in that group. Those things are awesome. All right? Let's just do the last 10 minutes of that, and then we'll wrap it up so that, I can remake my zucchini chips. All right? Let's do it. Okay, so it's 7, so I'm gonna like stop just so that we don't go here forever. Does anybody have any questions about inviting or anything that they run into that gives them trouble before we go? I mean, it's always a good opportunity for us to talk about it. You know, if you are having struggles with it. Anybody? Everybody's good? Inviting like bosses? Oops. Loud ding. Well, good then. That's good news. Justin, do you have anything that you want to say before? Thank you guys for letting me do that with you. I know I have nothing new to say that you haven't heard 1,000 times, but that's the beauty of this business. There's nuances in it. It's kind of like witchcraft, but the basics are all, we all say the same thing over and over again. So
it's kind of like witchcraft. When did you become a witch?
It is like, you're like getting all of the parts moving at the right time and finding out what your little magic spell is, like what is the thing that works for you. It's like cooking. You can say cooking, if you don't want to use the cauldron.
You're funny.
You have great luck with witches too right now, FYI. So, it's not the worst thing.
No,
I'm looking for niches all over the place.
You're cracking me up. Well, no, I appreciate you doing that, and there's a lot of really insightful stuff in that. So make sure you kind of go back through and watch it. But yeah, if most people are on Instagram, like she said, it works both Facebook or Instagram. So kind of just walk through it. Instagram, I have noticed I'm still trying to get used to it, guys. I'm brand new to Instagram. Like I'm struggling through it. But the one thing that I will say is the stories and messaging people and starting those relationships through their stories has been a million times easier than Facebook for me. And I can't imagine that that's too far different, because it just is such a natural conversation. You can say anything, just, a quick comment. And I like 9 out of 10 times I get a message back or a response back. And it's so natural to kind of move that into conversation. So if you're not utilizing that,
you can totally feel right off the bat with those if you're going to connect with somebody. And it's like you're cutting that time down. I mean, so much. It's like amazing.
Yeah, no, they're epic. All right, everybody. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys showing up. Jessica, thank you so much for sharing with us.
We got to get off. We need to go listen to this announcement. So
don't forget, we're going to be in the team page here in just a minute. So come check us out. We'll tell you all about it. And if you're watching this tomorrow, make sure you go back and look at the live video that was posted above this here pretty soon. All right, you guys have a great night, everybody. We will see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.